Breath of the Wild is way more than I or anyone could have asked for. The content packed within this game is seriously amazing. The price you pay for the time you invest is more than worthwhile compared to other games. And with over 300 hours invested myself, it's easy to forget that this game is more than just collecting resources and slaying bad guys. I mean, just look at the storytelling, which is one of my favourite aspects of the game by the way. Breath of the Wild is packed with lore and secrets, leaving only breadcrumbs to some of the biggest mysteries in the game. And with unsolved mysteries comes crazy wacky theories, and some very believable theories too. The secret Zonai, said to be a mysterious advanced civilization, is surrounded with different theories and answers. But some strange mysteries may never be answered, like the fact that the Korok known as Hestu gives an interestingly funny reaction when Link removes his clothes and engages in conversation. A scenario that has rattled my mind though is what would the world of Hyrule be like if Calamity Ganon was never able to corrupt the ancient guardians? Could the world really be much different if the Sheikah was still in control of the advanced technological machines known as guardians? The Sheikah in Breath of the Wild are a mysterious and secretive tribe who live in Kakariko village. They stand out with their pointed ears and grey hair. They are said to be chosen guardians of the goddess Hylia and were sent to protect and aid the royal family and people of Hyrule. They excel in mobility and jumping and specialise in hand-to-hand combat and pass down legends and knowledge. The Sheikah are described as an advanced civilization whose power and wisdom has saved the land of Hyrule multiple times. Their knowledge and skills in advanced machinery can be seen everywhere throughout Hyrule. The many shrines that were built to test the hero are an impressive feat alone, but you also have the many Sheikah towers and even the Sheikah slate. All are very impressive, but none pose much of a threat to the great Calamity Ganon. And that's why the ancient divine beasts and laser beaming guardians were created. Around 10,000 years before the events of Breath of the Wild, the Sheikah built the 4 divine beasts and the guardians to combat the anticipated arrival of Calamity Ganon. The divine beasts, piloted by 4 champions from across the land, paved the way for victory over Ganon. The machines were then buried beneath the ground in fear of their technological power, and their existence passed on into legend. But over 100 years ago, the fear of Calamity Ganon returning was on the rise. Due to these fears, the royal family of Hyrule ordered for the machines to be unearthed, and after years of intensive excavations, the machines were once again ready for battle and piloted by 4 new champions. This plan failed though when Calamity Ganon acknowledged the threat of the advanced machines the Sheikah had created, and then corrupted each and every one of them. Sending 4 minions known as Blight Ganon, they took control and corrupted the divine beasts by killing the 4 pilot champions. As well as the divine beasts though, Ganon also corrupted the many guardians that were built to protect Hyrule. Ganon caused mass chaos and damage to the land and people of Hyrule with his evil influences, using the guardians against the very kingdom they were built to protect. Guardian crawlers roam the land, killing anyone who dared to challenge them, and the people of Hyrule sneak around in fear of being obliterated by the powerful lasers they possess. Stalkers, turrets and skywatchers are all powerful machinery at the hands and control of Calamity Ganon. All are incredibly dangerous and all are incredibly unforgiving. While most avoid the Guardians at all costs, some brave souls fought against them, but most of these attempts would end in failure. One such failure was a battle in Akala between the Guardians and Hyrule's remaining knights and soldiers. The battle ended in a valiant last stand at the Akala Citadel, where Hyrule's army put up a fierce resistance before being overcome by sheer numbers. But not all encounters have ended badly. Robbie is said to have taken out several Guardians using his knowledge of their weakness on his way to set up his tech lab. One other such attempt was when King Dorothin defended Zora's domain from a Guardian that had wandered into his kingdom. King Dorothan used his supernatural strength to throw the Guardian down a ravine, destroying it. Although an impressive feat, he was still left with a fatal scar which can be seen on his face to this day. Link is also able to defeat Guardians because he is a skilled knight who knows their weakness and offensive style. So while it is possible to beat the Guardians if the skill and knowledge is obtained, the threat will always linger for the untrained civilians. But even still, beating the machines isn't necessarily the problem here. Ganon is able to bring them back with every blood moon too, remember, so they are basically an endless army with the power to wipe out a whole town or city. So no matter how many times they are beaten, they will eventually come back and pose the same threat to the people of Hyrule. But what if Calamity Ganon wasn't able to corrupt the Guardians to begin with? Now I know this isn't possible due to the fact that he did indeed corrupt them. But just for the sake of the video, let's pretend they had some sort of magic barrier that made them immune to Ganon's evil influence. Well, throughout our travels in the massive overworld, we can see many burnt down ruins that look to be houses, plus other structures that have crumbled to ashes with scattered debris everywhere. Most are clear evidence of Ganon ordering the Guardians to hunt everything and everyone. So really, if the machines were never corrupted, there would be a lot more standing settlements and homes within the land, and with more structures and settlements would mean more thriving residents. The many battles that took place between man and machine would never have played out either, which means many more people would have survived, adding even greater numbers to the overall population of Hyrule. The threat of foraging and roaming the land would still be a risky and dangerous job with the many other types of enemies, but also could be more safe with the Guardians now not a threat and even helping by clearing out some of the land's wicked monsters. Even after a blood moon, the Guardians could help to keep some areas constantly clear by continuously wiping the enemies out. Settlements such as stables and towns would be much safer too with Guardians now protecting them, and could even provide a safe crossing from town to town, making parts of the world easily reachable with less risks of bumping into dangerous foes. The Divine Beasts, however, would still be raging on with the powerful blights taking control. The Guardians could assist Link though in helping to take them back. Calamity Ganon would most certainly still take control of the land and still rule Hyrule Castle because of his sheer power. But the many machines that guard the castle would be gone, giving Link a clear entrance to take on Calamity Ganon. The various other minions would still roam the castle, but the Guardians themselves could even help Link to storm the castle and aid the hero in beating Ganon. The threat of the Yiga clan could be easily wiped out with just a few Stalker Guardians, or even turrets posted by their hideout ready to wipe them out after every blood moon. This in turn would make the world safer and make less hassle for Link. But ultimately, the outcome does really remain the same, with Ganon controlling the world. The Guardians are very powerful for standard enemies, but compared to Ganon, or even the Divine Beasts, they barely scratch the surface. I mean, just look how powerful the Divine Beasts are. They shoot Ganon from miles away with a combined charge shot, and it only stuns him for a brief time. The Guardians not being corrupted wouldn't change the outcome of the ending of the game, but would definitely change the atmosphere and land of Hyrule by making the world a much more safer place. But it's interesting to think of possible scenarios of what Hyrule could have been if certain events didn't play out. I mean, look at the Yiga clan. They never would have existed if the people of Hyrule didn't fear the ancient machines. The Sheikah would never have gone into exile, and certain Sheikah wouldn't have fostered a hatred towards the kingdom for shunning the Sheikah despite all they had done for it. This led them to swear allegiance to Ganon and resulted in the creation of the Yiga clan. Had the people of Hyrule continued to respect the Sheikah tribe, the Yiga never would have existed. It's interesting and fun to look at how certain events could have changed the world. It's clear to see that Hyrule would have been a much different, much more safe and lively world if the Sheikah and people still had the Guardians on their side protecting them. Thanks for watching everybody. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, then let me know in the comments below. Give the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already for weekly Zelda related content. I would just like to say a massive thank you to my Patreon supporters, Hazel, Some Guy and Jessipe. I really appreciate the support, and if anyone else would like to support me on Patreon, the link will be in the description down below, as well as my Twitter. And as always, cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.